Welcome to the deep dive. Look, if you're a local business owner, maybe a contractor, plumber, HVAC tech, you've probably felt that the whole digital marketing thing can be, well, a bit of a minefield, right?
Oh, absolutely. We hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Feeling overwhelmed, sometimes even like you're getting ripped off by online ads that just don't seem to work.
Exactly. So today we're going to cut through some of that noise. Our mission here is to figure out how contractors can actually win online.
Yeah, what really works?
We'll look at the marketing approaches that genuinely bring in those crucial calls and leads. And interestingly, we'll also check out a specific agency's claim about a potentially more profitable way forward.
It really boils down to using the right tools and maybe more importantly, the right expertise. We've looked at sources that really push for specific, targeted strategies instead of just throwing money at big, general, often expensive tools.
Okay, so let's dive into that first point. We're calling it the overkill problem. You take a tool like Ahrefs, it's this huge, powerful SEO platform, right?
Right? Enterprise level stuff, great for analyzing massive websites, competitor backlinks, broad keyword trends.
But is it right for a local plumber? Or an electrician whose main goal is just getting the phone to ring or getting a form filled out? Often it seems like total overkill, disproportionate even.
Yeah, exactly. Why pay for all that complexity? Our sources point out some real limitations with tools like Ahrefs for local guys. For one, the data for low traffic local sites can be pretty inaccurate. You might get these false metrics that don't actually line up with calls coming in.
And what about that crucial map pack, those top 3 listings you see on Google Maps?
That's a huge point. Iris doesn't really measure map pack rankings directly. That's a whole separate Google algorithm, heavily based on proximity and how well your Google business profile is optimized. Ahrefs just, it doesn't see that well.
So it's missing a massive piece of the puzzle for local search.
Totally. And its value for, like, local keyword ideas or deep site health checks. It's limited when all you really need is a clean, functional website that tells people what you do and how to call you. More data isn't always better. Sometimes it's just noise, analysis paralysis.
Okay, so if we're saying maybe hold off on these complex, pricey tools, what's the alternative? Where should contractors be putting their focus?
Well, funny enough, the answer often lies with tools they probably already have access to for free from Google itself.
You mean Google Search Console, GSC.
Exactly. GSC is basically Google giving you a report card on your website. It shows you accurate performance data, like the exact search terms customers are using to find you.
Okay, knowing the actual words people type in, that sounds incredibly valuable.
It is. It helps you tailor your website, especially location pages, to dominate those local search results. Plus, GSC has reports like coverage and page experience. These help make sure your site is healthy, loads fast, works well on mobile.
Because if someone's basement is flooding, they're on their phone and your site is slow.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Exactly. You need that positive user experience. And GSC helps you ensure that. All free directly from Google.
But okay, having the data is one thing. Raw data is just data, right? Numbers on a screen. How do you turn that into actual business growth? There's a gap there.
Ah, that's where interpretation comes in. And that's the invaluable role of a local SEO expert, someone who lives and breathes this stuff.
So, not just any SEO person, but someone focused locally.
Precisely. They take that GSC data and turn it into a real strategy. They focus on optimizing your Google business profile, your GBP, to get you showing up in that critical map pack.
Those top 3 map
You
spots.
got it. They also manage pay-per-click or PPC campaigns, but smartly, using geo-targeted, high-intent keywords. So you're not wasting ad spend on clicks from outside your service area or from people just browsing.
You're targeting people ready to call, like emergency plumber near me.
It's exactly right. High intent. And they maintain a clear conversion focus. It's all about calls and form fills. They use tools like CallRail to track which ads or keywords are actually making the phone ring. That gives you real ROI data.
So, the advice is basically shift budget away from complex software towards actual expertise.
That's the core idea. It often leads to tangible results and a much higher return. I mean, the sources show businesses in that Google 3-pack can see something like 126% more traffic and 93% more actions calls, website visits, directions. It's huge.
Okay, let's pivot to a specific example. MicroManaged Media, Inc. Our sources mention them. They're a PPC ads agency, been around 20 years, focusing specifically on blue collar contractors.
Right. And they have a pretty bold take. They essentially say Google wants to increase their profits, not yours.
Ooh, interesting. How so?
Well, they specifically call out Google's automated bidding, sometimes called smart bidding. Google pushes it, but MicroManaged Media argues it often just helps Google make more money. They insist on using manual bids.
Manual bids, meaning they set the bids themselves.
Exactly. It's about control. They argue it gives clearer results, ensuring every dollar is aimed directly at getting a conversion, not just feeding the Google machine. It's a different philosophy.
And they offer quite a package. Done for you website, call tracking, and AI integration for a very low price. That sounds pretty comprehensive for a contractor.
It really does. They cover local SEO, PPC management, websites, GBP optimization, Google Maps, landing pages, the works. They stress their deep industry expertise in home services.
A results driven approach, transparent reporting. Sounds good.
Yeah. And they even do things like adding a live interactive Google review feed right on the homepage builds trust instantly. Plus, they're looking ahead, thinking about AI search like ChatGPT and Gemini beyond just traditional SEO.
So, tying it all together, for contractors listening, the real win online doesn't seem to come from just buying the fanciest, most complex tools.
No, it really doesn't. It seems to come from a focused strategy,
Yeah.
leveraging that free, accurate data from Google.
And partnering with an expert who actually understands the goal, making the phone ring and getting leads, someone focused on measurable conversions.
Exactly. It's about being strategic, targeted, and yeah, working with someone who gets your specific business needs.
So, here's something to think about as we wrap up. What insights might be hiding in your own Google Search Console data right now? And what could a dedicated, focused expert help you unlock to really transform your business?